the new Rotary kids are coming in, and there's 2 boys that are flying in. Can we get together with them to welcome them? Because she knew what it was like to go to a new country and not know anybody. So it was within the first week. Joe was with Carl, and we took Joe and Maximilian. I call him Maximilian. He doesn't like it either. He's my Maximilian. So we took him for pizza over by the mall at Brothers Pizza. My girls and I, and another one of my daughters, Amanda Muhammad, who she's there, and I have 4 girls, and then all their friends, and then there's all those girls, and they're all my children. So we got to meet them the first week. We weren't assigned to them, and they were with the Costellos. And around Christmas, I got a Christmas gift too. Carl called and said that Joe needed another host family to be with. And I was like, okay. Wow, a boy. A boy. I was like, well, we kind of have a crazy lifestyle. Are you sure that would be okay for him? And Carl's like, yeah. And then I talked to the girls, and they're like, yes, they've always wanted a brother, yes. So I was like, okay. I called up Carl, and I said, yep. So then it was a miracle that was meant to be. And then when we found out that my neighbor, Heidi, who is his counselor, lives right next to us, we're like, oh yeah, this is so meant to be. It was a great surprise. A new child, a birth. And when you see that child, they just become part of your heart. And they are your child forever. So now I just wanted to share some of the things that we did together that were really fun and awesome. Because a lot of our moments were at home, practical things. And we did get to go on a trip, but here are a couple things. So one thing, like everybody says, is he would always say, good morning and hello to you. He was very polite. And so for my daughters, this was like new. And it was like, okay, this is really cool. It's like every morning, good morning, how are you? How are you? Good. And so then I started doing that, and my daughter started doing that. And it was like, this is really awesome. He would always say, it's fine, it's okay, it's okay. I fine. My youngest daughter, he would say, Michelle, her name's Michelle, and they always kind of thought that was funny. They say, Joe, it's Michelle. And he'd say, yeah, Michelle. So they quickly became brothers and sisters and brother. And at first it was like really polite and stuff, you know, and we're taking care of him. But then he soon became like a brother where they were doing stuff against, like they would talk and laugh, and I'd be doing something, and they're like cohorting against me, and then they're throwing stuff at each other, and I turn around, I was like, who did that? And it's like they're all pointing at each other. So he became their brother. One of our regular routines was I would drive them to school, and one of my favorite things is bubble gum. I am obsessed with bubble gum. So we would have bubble gum in the car. So every morning when you guys would see him at school, we'd get into the car, and he would sit in the front. He owned the front seat, right, ladies? Yep, and he knew it. And then we'd all pass out the bubble gum. So if he was eating bubble gum all the time, that's why. Let's see here. Oh, the big snowstorm. And there was the big snowstorm. And so Joe didn't really like the cold. But we were like, okay, snowstorm, everybody has to go out and play. And so he did. They got all dressed, went out there, and in about 2 minutes, he came back in because he didn't really like the cold. But we made snow angels, and the girls had a snowball fight with Joe. And so there's a picture out there of a snow angel, because I consider Joseph an angel. He had that heart of light and a soul and a spirit like an angel, full of love and kindness. We did get to go to Hershey Park, which was a really fun time. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we went down there, and the kids had a blast on the roller coasters. I got to stand there and watch them as they had a blast. And then we went to see my mother, who is from Germany, and that was a really cool experience. I believe it was like Easter time, and my mom makes these little baskets, and if anybody knows about the German culture, like those kinds of holidays are really big. And she had her little bag for Joe. And in that little bag, Germans like chocolates. There were these chocolate Linder balls that were in there, and she had a little card for him with a bunny. And when we got back home here in State College, everybody opened their little bag, and I was like, Joe, there's your little bag. And he opened it up, and he loved those chocolate balls, those Linder balls. And one day, Carl and Heidi were over, and we had them out there, and we all shared them. And Carl's like, ooh, these are really good. And Heidi's like, ooh, those are really good. But again, that was my mom, who is Oma. She's a grandma to everybody. Oma is grandma in German. And she accepted him, too, as her grandson, because in our clan, they were all girls. And there's a boy. Whoops, sorry. So those are really special, those Linder chocolates, and that's why they're out there. Another thing you said about was food. One of Joe's staples is Pringles, sour cream and onion Pringles. So when I go to the store in Weiss, I was always in the Pringles aisle, and the people got to know me, and we would always be like grabbing like 3 or 4 almost daily. The cans of Pringles. He really liked those. Also, my youngest daughter is studying culinary at State College, and she got to make Joe a meal, which was one of his favorite meals. It's called green curry. And she would make a big pot of it, and we were all sitting around, and in it is potatoes and curry and meat. And it was so funny because Joe would put it in the bowl, and he'd have the potatoes and the carrots and the meat, and there he is, just eating the meat. There are the potatoes. So that was one of his favorite meals, and the girls made that often for him, which was really fun. Okay. And one thing I just wanted to say is about the hammock. Mr. Costello and him would do a lot of outings, and he liked a hammock. And so he had that hammock in our backyard, and the girls, we would hang out there with him, and it really became kind of like this cool thing where we hang out together with that. And his other sister Amanda bought a hammock too. That's really cool. And so, but that just really shows you about his spirit, that he's loving and kind and peaceful and with the world. And I just remember him as a sweet angel. My Joseph in my heart forever, and I physically can feel him in my heart. And I'm grateful and thankful, and I think the Rotary is outstanding. Our group is outstanding. And I thank you for all your support, and I thank you for the experience. I thank you for giving me the call, and I thank the Lord, the dear Lord, for a son and the experience. So thank you.
I'm Michelle, his youngest soul sister. You always hear about the saying, you never know what you have until it's gone. You hear it so much, it makes you want to rip your ears out. But you never really understand what it means until the thing you lose is someone. Especially someone as special as Joe. He really was a special boy. I have never, and I don't think that I will ever, meet someone as kind and caring as him. Every morning, he would walk downstairs and he would say, "Hi, Michelle," in his goofy little accent. And it's the little things like that that I will miss the most. One of my favorite memories was when we were eating dinner and he bet me $10 that I couldn't drink a water bottle in 10 seconds. I lost. And when I tried to pay him back, he wouldn't take it. He didn't care about the money. He cared about the memories that came with the experience. My whole life, I've lived with 3 sisters, and he was the closest thing to a brother that I have ever had. I will never stop missing him.
I just want to say very quickly that the Costellos, you guys really meant so much to him. We were his family too, but you guys had a very, very, very special place in his heart. And Max, I've never seen 2 people closer. And I've been friends with my friends since I was 3 and 6 years old, and you guys known each other for a year, and the bond you 2 had is nothing compared to anything else. I have a slideshow in memory of Joe, and in the slideshow there's just a quick letter that I'll read to you here before, so you can, because you might not be able to see it. Dear Joe, you became a best friend, loved by all. Someone who showed the kindness in your heart with your dear sweet smile. You became an international ambassador who showed love with no boundaries. You became a big part of our families as a son and as a brother. We will always remember you and keep you in our hearts forever. Love all of your family and friends. I'm not very good with words. Every time I tried to write something, I sat with the pen just touching the paper, no words coming forth. So I hope you can see my love for